Hey everybody, blessings to you. I hope that you are doing okay, that you are doing well. I'm recording this video on July 14th, and I am sitting on my tree swing, my new tree swing in my yard, and I wanted to share with you my perspective on the shooting at the Trump rally and everything that happened last night and the whole hullabaloo and the everything that is going on right now in relation to that. I wanted to share it from my perspective. It is not going to be a commentary necessarily on the things, it's not going to be speculation, right? It's going to be thoughts and emotions and how I'm receiving it. You know, I'm sharing this with from an intuitive perspective. I'm not going to be somebody to listen to. If you want fast or you want noise, really, I'm gonna just give you my gentle opinion on this whole matter. And the first thing I'm gonna say is that I think it's unfortunate, you know, those people that lost their lives. That's an ongoing norm in American culture. There's shootings almost every day, and people are constantly losing their lives to the same weapon. Almost always the same weapon, constantly losing their lives to guns. And we're constantly in this situation where you hear about people losing their lives to guns. So in that aspect, I don't feel any different in regards to these people than any other person that I read on the news that have lost their lives. If I was to allow myself to feel emotion in regards to that, then America would kill me. I would die. America would kill me because I would be in a state of panic and worry and upset every day. It is a normal thing for people to be shot at, injured by guns, and killed by guns on a regular basis, practically every week, practically every day in the United States. And all of us who have been like watching how the Trump world and how mainstream media has been operating for the whole time of Trump's political life, we kind of have an idea and a sense, if of what to expect. Which is why some people are already like in a state of panic and saying things like, you know, Trump is gonna win now, and we're cooked and we're in trouble. I know all these things. I know the thought process behind this thinking. I understand this thinking. I am tempted to think these kind of thoughts as well. You know, as an intuitive, I truly believe that this election season, this whole year and this election season is going to be madness, and we have no idea what is coming for us. We have no idea, because what people need to realize, if they haven't already, is that this is consequential. I know we use that word. I'm trying to find a different word, but this is an important election for everybody. Powerful people are invested in how this election turns out. World leaders, democratic world leaders, allies, enemies, authoritarians, the entire world is banking and heavily invested, even like trying to influence it in whatever way they can, how these elections turn out. So we had 2 weeks of a hard, aggressive push for Biden to step aside, and Biden refused to do that, right? And he came out swinging. And then the following day, Trump has a rally, and then there's a shooting, right? There's a I'm not going to use the words, but the labeling is an attempt, right? And I don't see it that way, because to me, I would, just from looking at the video and seeing like how a shooter would have such a clear shot, and if that is a attempt, how exactly did it miss? I mean, it was like if he was just like a target, a perfect target, and he had a perfect line of sight, and he shot well enough to just like, I don't know, graze him. But what do I know? What do I know about guns? What do I know, right? I'm just thinking that there's just something that feels very, very off to me. Very off. And then he's like, let me get my shoes. The Secret Service is trying to surround him and probably bring him off the stage. And he's like, first, let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes. And like, he's refusing to let them take him off the stage. Then he comes back up and he has a little bit of blood on across his ear, and he goes in an aggressive fist pump way. And apparently, I when I saw the video, I saw his lips moving, and I didn't know what he was saying, but people say he was saying fight, fight, fight. And that just feels so incredibly orchestrated and staged to me. And the fact that people were killed doesn't change my mind from that, because you got to understand the mind of a cult leader or an authoritarian. Those people are his sheep. That's his flock. I believe that cult members are willing to die for their leader and their beliefs, right? And this is not me like saying that I know what happened, but I'm saying that because a couple people died, no, because one person died and one person was injured at this event, right, does not take away from the fact, that does not take away from my ability to think or to imagine the possibility of it being orchestrated, of someone being sacrificed for the good of the many, or two people being sacrificed for the good of the cause and the movement. So it's not far a stretch of an imagination. As an intuitive, and I'm just going to say that as an intuitive, my gut, as paying attention to the whole thing the whole time, and how many deals and how many underhanded behind closed doors agreements and deals he had with people, throughout his entire political life, even before then. Like, he is a criminal, a con man, marketer, a stager. This is just a continuation and an escalation of a pattern of behavior. It is not a stretch in the imagination to believe that this is another orchestrated thing, because what you got to understand about people is they always carry it to another level. We always take it to another. We get away with a thing here or there, and we take it to another level. So allowing your follower, one or two of your followers, to be shot or killed is not like I said, it is not beyond the realm of possibility. So that's my thoughts on that. My other thought is that, like, speaking for myself, I think that after going through the last 2 weeks of like trying to help in the process of fending off this demand and push for Biden to step aside, now there's going to be the sensationalism of this event. And again, the media is going to continue to do us a disservice and continue to not report the entire story and the whole picture, and put things in perspective and calm things down or lower the temperature. The media is going to just go wild, and the right wing side, or the MAGA side of communication, the MAGA side of communication is going to milk it. They're going to use it. They're going to use all the tricks in the book. And some Democrats, some people are going to play right into their hands with that. If it was me and I was advising people, I would say stay the course and speak the truth and still continue to call them out, still continue to call out Trump for what he is and what he does and what he says and what he has said. Still continue to let people know that this is a fight for democracy, and the battle remains the same. It's a dictatorship or a democracy. You look at this thing with a clear vision and understand what we're up against. I'm thinking, for me, I'm thinking that I just want to sit this one out, because I don't know if I want to go on this roller coaster ride. I just went on a 2-week roller coaster ride, and I'm not sure I want to go on this one. I feel like I want to read, enjoy my garden, and do other things. I want to do other things, because wherever we're going to end up from here, I don't think this one I can have any control over, any say over. If people are going to fall for these things, I don't know how many times I could just yell and scream at people, don't fall for these things. I feel like I just need to sit this one out. I need to breathe. I need to function as a human being. And this is too much. And I'm going to just keep the faith while I sit this one out. I'm going to keep the faith, and I'm going to hold on to my hope and trust that at the end of the day, we're going to end up where we need to be. But I'm going to tell you this. America's in a really bad place. And all this stuff that's coming to the surface, everything that is happening, Donald Trump has just been stress testing the system and testing the people, testing their resolve, testing their discernment, testing their intelligence, testing their ability to fight for themselves and break through his noise and his chaos, and really look at things with a clear vision and a clear eyes and understand what is happening here. Because if it's a situation where because somebody grazed him with a gun in a country that has a gun violence epidemic, right? A daily gun violence problem, right? And he got a little graze on his ear, and that's the reason that you're going to vote for him, right? That's the reason that people are going to stop fighting hard to have him not elected. Then I don't think there's anything that I could do about it. I don't think I could think for people. I think people are going to have to think this through on their own, and they're going to have to make their own decisions, and they're going to have to be smart. The one thing that I would say from my own personal perspective is, at this moment, I'm wishing that I did what I wanted to do, which I wanted to not be here. I wanted to go live on a Caribbean island and go to the beach every day and enjoy my life while America works this out, because I'm an immigrant and I don't get to vote. So I'm just trying to cheerlead Americans and educate Americans and get people to understand from a intuitive perspective, and not just from an academic and intellectual perspective, but from an intuitive perspective. I know that people might not necessarily trust that, but the world needs intuitives, because the are people like myself, because sometimes you got to trust your gut when reality is warped, when the noise is too loud, when it's too much information and it's information overload. Sometimes you have to let your spirit, your intuition be your guide. You have to trust your gut. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for listening to me, and I have a YouTube channel that I'm working on. I've made a lot, but I made a lot of videos lately, and a lot of stuff is happening faster, and I could put stuff on the internet, put my workout. So I'm gonna just put the videos that I recorded on my YouTube channel. And even though the conversation might move on to something different, if you're interested in hearing my perspective on things, I would love for you to check out my YouTube channel. It is just type in Tish B, Tish B. So thank you. Check it out if you are interested in my perspective on things. Thank you.